Stop beating yourself up over that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Aren't you a pastor? Just saying. We'll call him a philanthropath. It's a psychopath disguised as a philanthropist.
Unfortunately, some members of the community use platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Because that's how the mind works.
And some of the trees actually still have their leaves.
I used to ride my motorcycle throughout, Healdsburg and Santa Rosa after the fires hit, and I was like, this is not natural.
The perception of truth. Podcast.
I'm Vernon Roach.
And I'm Julianne Bryson.
And this is Perception of Truth Podcast. It's funny. I've been so excited to get back here in the studio and get back on this. I'm just full of. I just want to open up and let things just fall out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Kind of how we roll, isn't it?
It is.
We don't have a script. We don't have any notes. We just kind of spitball, and I like that because it's more authentic.
Yeah.
But it's like, where are they going with this conversation? I don't know. Why? How would I know?
Everything runs different when you're on God's time.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of it for me. I just, to open up this platform.
Yeah.
And for us to finally bring these conversations we've had for so long to the public and share that and bring those people on the journey with us. That's a mission statement of Perception of Truth. It's like, on this podcast, it's about finding out what the truth is.
Yeah.
And we touch on this almost every podcast because this is kind of the catalyst to it, right? Is what is real with living in a world of failing legacy media, with social networks being the prime place to really get your information, podcasts, things that are uncensored, unfiltered, raw, information, because that's the part of it, the edited versions of everything.
Yeah. Look at how many people won't believe anything until they hear it on the mainstream news.
Right.
But when I hear something on the mainstream news, I already know it's BS.
That's right.
And it's also what they omit from the news.
Yes.
It tells you more about how biased they are by what they don't cover and how many distractions they use. It's just totally ridiculous. So sometimes I'll tell people, well, I get my news from podcasts, and they look at me like, oh, you're one of those. Like, like, yeah, I am, and I'm proud of it because I feel like I have discernment. Like, I know, especially if you understand the narrative behind a story, right? Like, in the mainstream news, there's always a motivation behind the narrative that they're pushing. And if you understand the big picture of what's happening in the world right now, and then you understand all the moving parts, it's a lot easier to identify the BS. Because you're like, oh, that's why they're telling that story and not that story. Or that's why they're emphasizing this part of the story and not that part of the story. And that's why they're even talking about this BS. It's like totally meaningless. And meanwhile, there's like a, dumpster fire in the background happening that nobody's looking at.
That's right.
So funny.
No, that's so right. And you can see it unfold in real time now in life.
Yeah.
Like you can literally, I watch the news just so I can see what may not be happening, like let me go find out and go down the rabbit hole of propaganda.
Yeah.
It's like, and it plays out on all sides, and you see the narratives now.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious. So,
right.
So I always try to shoot in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what is the real thing here? If if this side's pushing this way and this side's pushing this way.
Yeah.
Why?
And then they got, CNN versus Fox. They try to give you this perception of truth that is okay. There's the right and then there's the left, but most of them are just spitting another version of the same BS. It's really ridiculous because Fox is no better than CNN, in my opinion. Especially, there's been a lot of stories that they've been caught out there lying about, including the 2020 election. So I don't have any more trust in Fox than I do with CNN, but CNN is the biggest joke of all because it's like laughable what goes on that network.
Oh man, some of my most entertaining things with that is when they bring on people from Fox. Yeah. And they sit down and they talk, and it turns into these straight up knock down, drag out arguments. And then the other part of me still thinks, was this planned?
Well, that's the thing. I think it always is planned, and the right versus left paradigm that we're in is, to me, it's a big facade. I think it's just a huge way of actually moving the masses. Because if you think about it, like, how come there's never been a third or a fourth or a fifth successful party? Why has it always been there's two? And every time another one tries to emerge, it's almost like it just gets shot down immediately. And I think it's because they know it's so much easier to control the masses when you have that dichotomy. You're either right or you're left. And if you're in the middle, you still got to choose one way or the other when you vote. So we're just going to keep everybody separated, and we're going to make everybody think that you're born either a Democrat or a Republican.
Man, ain't that
like
division?
Like you're born this way, or it's like it just happens. It's like, how does it happen?
Yeah.
It happens from indoctrination.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was raised in a very liberal Democrat environment, but I had a few conservative relatives, and I didn't agree with any of them. Like, even as a kid, I was like, this is so stupid. How come we only have two parties? Like,
why is it like that? And Elon, his big argument with Trump that was just spread all over social media, whether that was planned or it was something that just happened organically. That was the last thing I heard from legacy media about that whole debacle was that Elon's going to start this new party, and it's like, wow, man, and then I saw interviews with him where he's like, I've done enough. They're like, so what do you think about everything you've done to this point, Elon? He's, well, I've done enough. So I don't know where that's headed or what the real truth is there, but
who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, even the people that we like and respect are putting out false narratives for certain reasons. I mean, if you think about it, like, Trump is literally taking down the deep state and draining the swamp. You think he's going to tell everybody what he's up to? Like, and this whole thing with Elon and him butting heads, I think it's a big pony show. I mean, I don't believe a bit of it. But then again, I also don't trust Elon. Like, the guy helped create AI. Like, sorry, he could do good things, like, there are evil people in our government and evil people that are famous that can do good things. Mitch McConnell is a great example. I hate the guy, but he did one of the best things ever by legalizing hemp with the Farm Bill in 2018. And it's surprising because he's such a piece of what, but he did a good thing, So that's why, like, I try not to just have I try to keep a very general opinion on anybody famous, whether they're a politician or whatever, because you really don't know exactly what their motivations are. So
yeah, no, talking about Mitch McConnell, man, I can't get past the like frozen.
I think it might be a clone.
I mean,
like,
something.
Really
it was like somebody hit the eject button on the VCR.
Or he's under MK Ultra mind control, which I think a lot of these politicians are, and then they got that code word, and then they're just all.
It's
like, what the hell is going on there?
Oh man, it's like call a cold blue. It's like because I mean he's just in the middle of some stuff, right? And he's on TV, and then he just literally stops taking any prompts or anything, and he's just.
2026. That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
yes.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Our representatives of Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. Let's go.
Yeah, and he's a big old rhino anyway. Scumbag.
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, this is Perception of Truth. I got my own thing to say.
Yes. No, man, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week, and we lost a lot of big time people this past week. Cultural icons, people that made huge splashes in culture, and is going to endear for a long time. I mean, I'll just go down the list. I mean, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, very sad.
From the Cosby Show, and Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. And then Ozzy Osbourne. I don't think that we've seen that kind of loss in that lane of that magnitude in a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Long
all at
time.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whatever about anybody's personal lives. You know, I look at it. Look, man, I grew up in the '80s.
Yeah.
So these were polarizing figures.
Yeah.
You know, the Cosby Show was a huge part of my life. You know, seeing that family like that on TV, and the Huxtables were everything, and him being the son, and the different episodes that pushed the boundaries of what sitcom TV was about. And, and it brings me comfort. Those are comfort shows. You know, regardless of how the people turned out in their personal lives.
I was just gonna say.
You know, I'm not gonna, Jello pudding. No, but it's you know, whatever. But no, and then Hulk Hogan, man. You know, I was a Hulkamaniac. You know, I loved WWF. I grew up in the era of Andre the Giant and Bobby Heenan and all of those polarizing figures in wrestling. None were as big as Hulk Hogan. You know, and it just the impact that he made. He was Saturday morning cartoons, man. You know, I'd go from watching wrestling matches to him being Saturday morning cartoons, you know. And I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky, so shout out to Hillbilly Jim.
Right.
You know, Hillbilly Jim was on those Saturday morning cartoons too. So, you know, it was really big thing around I actually know Hillbilly Jim. I went to high school with his daughter. And so it was just amazing for me as a kid, you know. And then Ozzy Osbourne.
Whew.
You know, he was a big influence on me as a vocalist, you know, with my music and my music career. You know, he was a pioneer, and I don't think anybody's done it like Ozzy's done it.
No.
I don't think anybody's made that big of a splash.
Going off the rails on the crazy train.
That's right.
That's what I grew up on.
That's right.
Was rocking out back in the early 80s. Just, yeah.
What an iconic voice. Just, you know, all of the bands, all your metal bands, Metallica, all of these guys, you know, they Ozzy kind of made that happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll give it to him. Most of them giving him his flowers for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to all those guys.
Rest in peace.
At Treatables, we understand that every pet is unique, so we offer a range of products to meet their specific needs, all packed with the same powerful 5-in-1 benefits for a balanced, healthy lifestyle, whether it's easing stress, supporting joints, boosting immunity, balancing digestion, or bringing calm to the day. Treatables products are designed with these 5 essential benefits in mind. For pets who prefer a crunchier option, our hard chewables are crafted to be both satisfying and beneficial. Our soft chewables provide all the same benefits in an easy-to-enjoy form that's easier on teeth for senior pets. If you're looking for flexibility, our oil droppers let you control the dosage with ease and for targeted relief. Our transdermal cream works directly on the skin, providing a soothing direct application for aches and stresses, but can also be used for general purposes by applying to the tips of the ear. A healthy, happy pet means harmony for the whole family.
How dare you say that?
How dare I say
You know what I mean? Like you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. Like how did we get here? You know what I'm saying?
Oh God, I seen a girl at the roller rink like last year, and she had like a big Mickey Mouse tattoo, and I was just thinking she's gonna regret that in a few years. Like,
like, hey girl,
Sorry.
you know you got Steamboat Willie on your leg?
sorry to burst your bubble about Walt Disney and Disney.
Oh yeah,
and all that stuff.
Man, I've been seeing all that. That's a lot of stuff that's hard to sift through.
Yeah,
because when you start getting into it, there's so many levels of things that you know the parts, and I'll just hit on some points, and then because like for instance, it being separate as a state. Like as a, you know what I mean? Like, like the monarchy is in that, you know, or
that's weird,
you know, and then how they battle with the state of Florida, you know, over that with you know, and then the underground labyrinth that's under the park, which, you know, you could, and these are things that go do your own research on it. I've went down so many rabbit holes on it, you know, like, well, it's for the employees, you know, and that makes sense for everything that they're doing there, because that's a large amusement park. They're operating at a high capacity, you know, but there's so many things with that. And then there's paranormal aspects to it, you know, like hauntings from all the deaths and disappearances. Like there's statistics you can go look at about how many people disappear.
I know.
You know, and a lot of them are children.
They snatch them out and then they bring them underground and traffic them. I mean,
oh my gosh,
it's
man,
disgusting. But I mean, just the whole like thing about the cartoons from back in the day when we grew up.
Oh man, yeah.
Have you seen those clips where they show like all the subliminal stuff that they were feeding our poor little innocent minds. It's so disgusting. Like, it's really, and I mean, when I was a kid, I actually didn't really like cartoons that much. I felt like I was being indoctrinated by cartoons and TV in general, like even at a very young age. I think that's why I'm kind of like anti pop culture, because since I was a little kid, I felt like I was under mind control. Isn't that weird?
You were. We've definitely established programming.
Well, and now I come to find out, decades later, that this whole predictive programming thing is a big part of Hollywood and the ties between the government and Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
That is just highly disturbing. And a lot of people get upset to learn these things because they're so attached to their idols, and it's like this idolatry. That's not really a very healthy thing to do anyway. So I think it's going to hit folks pretty hard when a lot of truth comes out about the politicians that they love and the musicians that they love and the movie stars that they love, when all the truth comes out about the sick stuff that goes on. Yeah.
I think you're dead on with it. I just, for me, going back to the Disney thing, like the movies, like Pinocchio is a dark movie.
Yeah.
A super dark movie. You don't see it as a kid. I remember how it made me feel.
Yeah.
I remember how Peter Pan made me feel.
Yeah.
I remember how Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs made me feel.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the originals. You know what I mean?
The new one didn't go over too well.
You think?
Go woke, go broke.
Lord have mercy. Nobody's learned from that.
Bro.
Yeah. Nobody. We're still going to have things like that happen.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to talk a lot more about that, in the near future. But all of those movies, I grew up as a kid, like Alice in Wonderland. I loved that movie as a kid, but there's so much of that, of those films that are dark when you really look at the underlying theme. Like in Pinocchio, I mean, it's child trafficking. It's child trafficking in Pinocchio. Look at what happens to him. These guys are going around finding all these bad kids, and they're taking them to an island. They're turning into jackasses. That was horrifying to watch those kids get scared and turn into the jackasses.
Goodness.
There's so many
Predictive programming.
Yeah,
They
this
got
is
it
normal.
in your mind at an early age that's normal, and then when it happens to you, you're like, I'm in a Pinocchio cartoon.
Yeah, and see, I am a nerd. I mean, I love pop culture, and I grew up in the '80s. I'm a G.I. Joe, He-Man, kid. So that's big. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What's up?
Right. What's up?
Bring it on. And Master Splinter right here. See, I went from being Michelangelo to Master Splinter in life. So it's just it's I grew up on all that. I was force fed every bit of that, and to see how that impacted me as a kid, even with my ideologies and everything else, because if you look at the narratives, a lot of that stuff would not pass today in America's public, the way everything's censored, and the way everything's programmed.
Yeah, and I think people are way more in tune to it now than they were back then. What looked like a totally innocent cartoon 40 years ago, if you put that out now, and I think more parents are actually watching. But then there's also parents that don't pay attention to anything their kids are doing. They let their kids all over social media, and they don't even monitor what they're doing. And that's very scary, I think, because they've already proven that a lot of these pedophiles are actually luring in kids through social media, through video games that they play together and stuff. And it's really sick stuff. You have to watch everything your kids are doing these days. You have to be a helicopter parent, even if it's the last thing you want to do. Cause it's just, the world is just too dark and evil. And there's too many sick people that would be happy to do evil things to your kid. It's highly disturbing, but it's the world we live in. So you got to pray over your kids. You got to pray for your kids every day. Every day.
Pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop. Get that personal relationship going for sure. But that, the thing is you're right. It with social media, it makes it so much easier for a predator to go after somebody, and especially children.
Yeah.
Because with video games and everything now, online subscriptions, you've got these headsets and you don't know who your kid's talking to. You don't know. And it's easy to give information over those kind of platforms and somebody become a victim.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying, really. It's horrifying. But, You hit the nail on the head. The spiritual protection's number one. Number one.
100%. Yeah, I saw something. I can't remember who was being interviewed, but they were talking about how they do these really sick things where they take like an image of a child off of social media and then they AI generate that kid in like a child porn clip. And then they blackmail the kid. They actually blackmail the kid. They'll send that AI generated video back to the kid to blackmail them. And then that's one way that they actually lure these kids into the whole child trafficking underworld. It's so
Man,
crazy.
we're past the how to catch a predator days, aren't we? It's not even. Wow. It's
well,
just,
they got all the tools they need to do it. That's the sad truth. And I think that's, unfortunately, social media is it's a double-edged sword. It's got a lot of bad things and a lot of good things about it.
Well, hopefully they're using that and reverse engineering it and going out there and catching predators.
Yeah.
And people that need to be taken off the streets.
Yeah.
And dealt with.
Yeah.
That's something I'm very staunch about, and I'll never change my stance on that
Right.
as a parent and as a father. Is no, we need to get them off the streets, and we need to do whatever we have to.
Yeah.
To stop that.
Yeah.
That needs to be a number one focus of our government. They're into everything else. They need to focus on that.
That's why it's just so painful to back to this whole right versus left thing. Here they got the public, taking sides, right? So right there, you've already got a huge division. Well, what if, or I should say, when the truth comes out about all this pedophilia happening in our government, and a lot of it is on the side of the left, but that doesn't mean that there's not Republican. There's rhinos out there too. There's people on the right that are also involved in this child trafficking thing. But the part that's going to be really tough is if you're somebody that identifies as a, super liberal Democrat, and then one day you are going to find out the truth about what's going on in your party, you might not be as excited about that political party anymore.
Yeah.
But the truth is the truth, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out sooner or later, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're here talking about it. We are so curious about the truth because we see how it's buried and we see how the propaganda is displayed, with full lights and everything, theatrics, just so that you're
dog and pony
looking over here so you don't look over here, and it's,
bait and switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. It's blatant.
Gotta have
It's super blatant.
big time.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I do pray on daily is to be able to really see things clearly, and I think that we have that conversation all the time. It's two heads of the same snake.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe that. I can't not, because of the fruit that's bared.
Yeah.
And when you're watching any kind of media and you can blatantly see two different narratives being thrown at the same story, well, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get the people here on Perception of Truth. We want you guys. We want you to come here and sit with us. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's figure it out. Because I want to be in the know. I want to know more so I can figure things out.
Well, it's like everything else. It's like the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
No, that's facts.
And that is just the world
Facts.
we're living in right now.
It is.
And that's why I don't get attached to my ideas about politicians or superstars, actors, and musicians and stuff, because there's no way we would know everything there is to know. So I'm okay with that. But sometimes I can tell right away when a politician is just full of crap. They got these like micro expressions going on that just give them away. They're telling you something affirmative, but they're going like this with their head. You're lying. Or even if it's just a teeny little like this, that's a micro expression. And that tells you that person is lying. It's just like if they're saying something that's, it's a no answer to a question, but they're doing a slight yes. Yeah. They are lying. That is a lie. And you see politicians do this all the time. Their body language shows you. If you understand about micro expressions, you can see when they're lying. Actors is harder to tell because they know how to suppress the body language that would give them away, but not all politicians know how to do that. So,
man, that's
I'm
intriguing.
Fascinated by that.
Yeah, it makes me think of the whole CIA being involved in Hollywood and having actors play roles.
100%.
That's
it's
why
still happening. It's still happening. Central casting.
Yeah.
You know how many times Trump has actually dropped that expression?
Yeah.
It's central casting. It's central
Yeah.
casting. He's telling us something, right?
Yeah.
But we already know what he's telling us. Like, there's so many actors playing politicians right now. It's like, it's hilarious. Like, that's why it's so funny. It's, this is a show. We are watching the best show on earth. And that's why they keep saying, go get your popcorn,
That's why they call it the world stage.
Yeah.
The world stage. How many times you heard that term?
Yeah. And they also say, give them bread and circus and they'll be, distracted, or however that expression goes.
Yeah.
It's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah. I don't entertain the circus. I leave that to the clowns.
Yeah, the clowns. We got plenty of them around. Jeez.
Watch out for the ringmasters.
Yeah. That clowns are running the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm that dude on the dirt bike and the big spear. You know what I'm saying? The guy that just walks into danger instead of, listening to any, hey, don't do this or don't do that. No, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to do it in full display.
So what do you think about social media platforms being created by the CIA and everything? Do you think that's feasible reality?
100%.
Yeah.
I can go so much deeper than that. I think that it is a type of wave to process the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can look at the matrix as a thing that we're living in a simulation. You can look at it on that level because there's a lot of theories that actually hold true to that.
Yeah.
Or you can look at it like that is the simulation that we're going through, that we're being programmed, because our reality, if you think about it, our consciousness, however we perceive it, that's what reality is for us.
Right.
So if they can find a way to load the deck, they're going to load the deck. It's control.
Yeah, and it seems pretty brilliant, and it makes actually a lot more sense than the alternative reality. Meaning, if you can get a bunch of people to jump on a platform like Facebook and give up all the information about their personal lives. This is my family. This is my child. This is my husband. Here's what we did today. Here's what we ate today. Da, 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 da. I mean, look how much information you get just by that alone.
Oh, yeah.
And if your government is always into surveilling and spying on you, well, they just created the best tool to do that.
They found the best way to literally ride along with you every day, right in your pocket. Right in your pocket. That there's so many things when you're connected through your phone.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, the GPS, I mean, you can ask AI questions now in real time during the day. Hey, do this for me. Hey, say this, find this. Do you think that's not going to a database and being regulated by somebody?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is 110%. Do I think that was the main goal? I'd say that's a good theory.
Right.
I'd say that's a great theory.
Well, the Twitter files kind of proved it. I mean, we found out during the scamdemic that it was all about the government had their hands in Twitter and all that stuff during that time. And it's just, of course, they don't talk about that on the main.
That's right. Not allowed to. No. You're not allowed to. You're going to get censored.
Yeah.
You're going to get censored.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put out what they want to put out.
So imagine if all the levers of power around the censorship and the indoctrination and the propaganda, imagine if that whole house of cards just fell apart.
Wow.
How instantly our world would change.
Oh, man.
How crazy it would be. It wouldn't be as crazy for us because we already know the truth of what's going on. For the most part, obviously, we don't know everything. But a lot of people are still really in the dark by choice, or maybe not by choice. Maybe they're just confused. A lot of people seem to be confused these days. They're just they see what's going on and they're like, what in the heck is going on in the world? And who can we even trust? And I've even heard people say things like, well, if everything's propaganda, then who's to say that what you're saying isn't also propaganda? And that's when I have to say, look, there's discernment involved in this, but there's also due diligence. Go and research it. And then you have to understand what's the motivation behind that narrative? Who's it serving and why?
Yeah.
And that right there tells you a lot about what is going to be the truth and what's going to be a big fat pack of lies, So, I mean, sure, everything we hear could be just propaganda, but if you can back it up, and I don't mean backing it up by I heard it from 15 different sources, because Actually, the liars are great at presenting it 15 different ways to make us think that it must be legitimate. But I'm more interested in the story that's buried in the Google search on the 10th page.
Yeah.
Because that little article that has really, really awesome data behind it, or it references a paper that's a government generated paper, like that thing that I showed you about that NASA document. We got to talk about that on one of these episodes. The lady found a document on the NASA website in 2001 that basically talks about weather manipulation is going to hit the world hard in 2025.
Wow.
So, but that's what I mean. It's like something like that would be like on page 10 on a Google search. It's not going to be like right there in your face. So I'm always looking underneath all these layers of crap to get to the truth, because I know it's going to be buried.
Stop beating yourself up over that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Aren't you a pastor? Just saying. We'll call him a philanthropath. It's a psychopath disguised as a philanthropist.
Unfortunately, some members of the community use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Because that's how the mind works.
And some of the trees actually still have their leaves.
I used to ride my motorcycle throughout, Healdsburg and Santa Rosa after the fires hit, and I was like, this is not natural.
The perception of truth. Podcast.
About it. Stop in the scene for a minute, brother.
What's going on, brother?
A little better I have, man.
Yeah. So what'd you think about them gummies?
Man, those gummies right there, let me tell you, I popped one down the hatch. Next thing I know, I'm putting Bible verses on Facebook. I go to the studio, write the best verse I've ever wrote in my life.
Yeah.
Can I get another?
Andy Dolores, brother, I got you. Huh?
That whole thing, me?
Yes, sir.
Brother, you that dude.
Hey, we're in the business of making you have a great day, brother.
Stress free, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
I take two.
Yeah, hey, take the caramels too, brother.
I meant two products.
Yeah, try
you got to
to
do it. Well, I got a birthday coming up. It's about 4 months out, man.
Ah.
Thanks, brother.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.